Of course, concerning the appeal, yes, we are working with several partners, institutions, organizations all over the world, Arab and international, that are really also worried of this high number of journalists killed. Now, since today, after you reached out to me, we lost another colleague, unfortunately, and we're sad and we're shocked and we are angry. Those are dear colleagues. They are doing their work, wearing their vests, their safety gears, as Mustafa and Hamza were yesterday, in their car, full of TV stickers, full of equipment, though they were targeted. This is genocide for us, because when you say we have 107 journalists killed in Gaza, with the population of Gaza, with only nearly 1,200 now, they are a little bit more because so many have went to the streets and started working, finished their education in journalism, and they're forced to start very early work. This means 9% of journalists killed in Gaza in only 90 days. This means we lost one or two of our colleagues each day. This is a huge number. If you put this in another population, maybe in Pakistan, maybe in the USA, this may mean 10,000, according to the numbers and the population in a very small area like Gaza Strip or like Palestine. We worked with our partners because we think this is not only our responsibility as a syndicate, it's the responsibility of all the organizations that loud them the voice of human rights, freedom of journalism, freedom of speech, freedom of right of protection. This is now, it's a big challenge for them to really speak out loud that Israel has to stop targeting journalists, has to stop killing our colleagues in Gaza. Their right to be safe, their families has to be safe. They have the right even to have food, water, internet, electricity, safe offices. Everything is destroyed around us, not around them, not just them, but all their surrounding. So we hope this appeal really will reach out to so many partners, to so many colleagues, so we can be able to make real pressure on decision makers, to pressure on Israeli army occupation to stop killing and targeting our colleagues.
Thank you, Shuruk. You have appealed to the global journalist community for, solidarity. In your statement, you've written that there should be an end to misinformation. Journalists need to do more to end the misinformation while reporting on this conflict. So, you're saying misinformation, and it appears to be that there's also the international journalist bodies, quote unquote, in the West, if I can call it that, they are being criticized for their underreporting of the story, for the kind of reporting which has been very lopsided. This is what the public reaction has been. And then at the same time, they are being criticized for not having done enough. And we're not saying this, multiple journalists themselves in those countries are raising this. And can you please speak about that a bit?
This is very important to highlight. Thank you for really highlighting this issue, because this is something that was shocking to me personally as a journalist, especially that usually the West usually educate us, between brackets, about human rights and about freedom and about justice. We did not really see them do anything. They were silent. They did a little bit, we have to be frank, some of our colleagues, but they did it with fear. They did it with lots of fights with their editors in so many newspapers, in mainstream channels, and I don't want to recall names, but they know themselves. Some, at the beginning of the war, first of all, they bought all the story of the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces. They did not really take in consideration the basic law of journalism, that we have to be sure and detect all the information that we send from so many sources. They were kind of spokespeople for the Israeli soldier. They said that Palestinians burned bodies and raped women and cut heads, and this turned out to be not true and a lie, and some even went on air and they apologized. But for me, this is very dangerous, because an information can be very, very dangerous as a bullet when you mislead the people and when you send not any correct information. And I don't say here that the media should be with the Palestinian rights, though we have a legal rights, a right to be free in our country. Even though I ask for professional journalism, the basic professional journalism, like to have the two-side stories, to make sure of the information. They even bought the idea till now. Some channels, they like, let's say there's a story, there will be 2 minutes of Israeli side and 30 minutes for what's happening in Gaza. Though we talk about nearly 30,000 people died in Gaza. 10,000 of them are children. 6,000 are women. 270,000 buildings were bombed. Hospitals, schools. It's something that no really ethical journalist can really not see all this. And at the end, as if always the Palestinians have to defend themselves, like if they are human beings and not animals, as so many said, that they are not criminals, they are not terrorists, and they are not ISIS. So, and they did not even refer to the whole story, the ground of the story, why this all started, which is occupation.